They operate in the shadows of the web, executing thousands of commands every single second. They're kind of like the internet's invisible workforce. It's secret agents. And today, we're going to bring them out into the light. Okay, so let me ask you this. Has this ever happened to you? You're watching an online auction. The countdown is ticking, your eyes are just glued to the screen, finger hovering over that bid button. 3, 2, 1, and poof, it's gone. Snatched away in the very last millisecond. It's so frustrating, right?
Well, chances are you weren't competing against some person with lightning-fast reflexes. Nope, you were probably up against a Webbot. These are basically automated programs that just tirelessly browse the web, gathering data and executing tasks with, superhuman speed and precision.
So, to really understand how these little agents operate, let's follow one on a classic mission. We're going to go inside the anatomy of what's called an auction sniper.
Okay, so here's our target, a pretty standard e-commerce site. The mission, should our bot choose to accept it, is to place the winning bid at the absolute last possible moment. The goal? Secure the item for the lowest price and definitely don't trigger one of those frantic bidding wars.
Now, this gets right to the heart of it. A bot doesn't see a web page the way you and I do. And to really get how they work, we first have to understand how they see the web. It's totally different.
So, when you visit a site, right, your browser sends out one simple request. And what you get back is this fully assembled, nice-looking web page. Everything is just put together for you behind the scenes. It's totally seamless.
A Webbot, though, it sees the raw, messy reality. It has to go out and individually fetch every single file, the HTML, all the images, the CSS, the JavaScript files, and they might be coming from a bunch of different servers. It then has to piece this whole digital puzzle together just to understand the environment it's in.
And this is basically the bot's mission protocol, step by step. First, it gets its orders, what to buy and the max price. It logs in, it makes sure the item is still available, and then, and this is the real secret weapon, it synchronizes its clock perfectly with the auction server's clock. Then, bang, at the exact right millisecond, it submits the bid and checks the results. It's a total precision strike.
So what kind of gear does a digital agent like this actually carry? Let's open up the toolkit and take a look inside.
Okay, its most fundamental tool is something called parsing. Think of this as its digital reconnaissance skill. The bot literally sifts through all that raw code to find the critical intel it needs, like the current price, the exact time left on the clock, or where that submit bid button is. It's all about separating the signal from the noise.
But that's not all. To stay undercover, a good bot has to act human, so it emulates a real browser to avoid suspicion. It manages cookies so it can stay logged in, it'll automatically follow redirects, and it knows when to just give up if a server isn't responding. Really, it's all about blending in with the normal web traffic.
So what does a bot do with all this intelligence it's gathering? Well, it's got to organize it, right? Depending on the mission, it might store the data in a simple file system, kind of like folders on your computer. Or for more advanced stuff, it'll use a big, searchable relational database.
Auction sniping is a classic example for sure, but these bots are operating everywhere in the wild, and they're used for all sorts of things. Some are incredibly helpful and, well, others not so much.
Now on the creative side, you've got these aggregation bots that build fantastic new tools. A really famous example was housing maps. It took real estate listings from Craigslist and plotted them on Google Maps. It just took two separate public data sources and mashed them together to create something brand new and super useful.
They can also be a kind of digital watchdog. A company can deploy a web bot to just constantly patrol the internet, searching for pirated copies of its software or, say, unlicensed uses of its images. It's a way for creators to protect their work.
But here's the flip side. A poorly designed or just an overly aggressive bot can be a real menace. If it starts hitting a server with too many requests too quickly, it can totally overwhelm the website, slowing it down or even crashing it for everybody. And that's usually how these bots blow their cover and get their IP addresses blocked for good.
And getting blocked isn't the only risk, not by a long shot. Operating these powerful agents means you have to navigate a really complex and frankly evolving set of legal and ethical rules of the road.
Okay, a huge one is copyright. And the law here makes a really fascinating distinction. Copyright protects creative expression, the unique way that facts are presented in an article. But, and this is key, it does not protect the raw facts themselves.
So a bot can legally go out and collect a list of product prices or historical dates, but it can't just copy and paste the creative article that those facts are in.
Then there's this incredible legal concept called trespass to chattels. Seriously, it's an ancient law about messing with someone's physical property, but courts have actually applied it to the digital world. The bottom line is, if your bot hits a server so hard that it harms the owner's ability to use their own website, their digital property, you could find yourself in some serious legal trouble.
So the crucial point is really this. As Webbot expert Michael Schrenk puts it, their true power isn't just about gathering information. It's that they can make decisions and actually take action based on that information all on their own. Which, of course, leads us to the big question for the future. These secret agents of the internet are only getting smarter and more autonomous every single day. So the real question isn't just what they can do, it's what decisions are we, as people, willing to let them make for us. And that's a question really worth thinking about as these agents continue to operate, just out of sight.